guys, welcome back to another video of mine. My name is Taras, his channel is TMNJ. Welcome. Hold on a second. Bloody hell. Despise when I was such a horrible bedhead. Doesn't matter though. So, in this video, I just had a traveling experience. Without trying to. I love when I stop smoking and drinking and vaping, and then I have these wild experiences, like just out of nowhere. Or I wouldn't say wild, but these quick or short-term experiences. Me leaving my body begins to happen more and more. Good morning to you guys, or good evening, or good afternoon, depending on the time frame, wherever you all, any and all of you may be. So this Astral traveling experience was short, mind you. I'm not trying to make it long. Rather, not that I could make it long to begin with, but I had something else that occurred as well. So, the Astral traveling experience, it was after my brother came into my room for protein powder, and I comprehended, because I'd gotten up this morning, he looked at me different. He looked at me like, hey, what's good, bro? I just looked at him like, don't talk to me. That's usually how I am half the bloody time. Just not wanting to talk. Sometimes I'll just grab cereal or some sort of food and head back to my room while my mother's trying to converse with me. I'm just like, I don't converse in the morning like that. I eat my food and I go back to sleep. And then I get up and drink the fluids afterwards. If it's milk, for example, I'll drink the, stuff afterwards, after I've woken up. Well, gradually actually. But in such a traveling experience, what happened is I left my body, of course, and what happened, which I found interesting, was my brother had knocked on my door, and in my mind I'm thinking, what the hell does he want? And he was asking me if I wanted to, the other version of him, also to say, was asking me if I wanted to go to some sort of restaurant or bar with him and his partner and some other friends. Mind you, he didn't say his partner, but like I could tell. Well, he didn't say his partner was going to be there, but I could tell it was included. I could just feel it, and I was like, what will be happening at this bar or place? Because I'm in my mind I'm thinking, we don't like hanging out with people, as in me, as my inner being, and my guides, as well as, well, some of my guides don't, but as well as my inner child, we don't really like being around people like that, especially those who are not on the frequency that we're on like that. Depends, actually. But like, if we're around people whom are simple-minded, I guess you could say, not really like broad-minded, really looking at every single aspect and all the other factors and so on, just really, yeah. Then my inner being's just like, because I'm not the type to really deal with conversations that's so grounded in games and sports and all that jazz. What kind of weed you smoke, or what kind of alcohol you'll drink, and so on. How drunk you got one time. I'm not really, those conversations don't really go towards me, or what kind of car you have, or what kind of fuel you'll need. Any of that jazz, basically. That stuff has never suited me, never has made sense to me, it never really resonates with me at all. So if you guys are also ask, am I a sports fan? I despise sports with a burning passion. That's the honest truth. Now, to continue on forth, I'm like just thinking these things, like, what? And the other means asking my brother, like, well, what's gonna be happening in this place? Like, what are you doing, playing, whatever the hell? And my brother was saying we playing some sort of game on the phone, on the mobile, like a group game. And I was like, group game? What are you talking about? Group game? I was like, well, I want to play a game on my phone around with other individuals for. I don't see the need to do that. Maybe it's just like save its BTD, but that's barely even. I barely even play that game at this point in time. But I'm like, well, I don't want to play with others at a game or on my phone at a restaurant. Who said I was a people person? Like I'm incredibly introverted. I'll be honest. I'll say it's the honest truth. Um, being around people like that isn't really my forte. Even if you are a spiritual person, I probably still won't be around you like that. Given I only can only if your energy resonates with me, I can chill with you. Otherwise, I can't. Well, I can, but not for long. Um, but he just was saying to me something about this game, and I'm just like, what? And I'm like, what the hell is it called anyway? He said like something like Bubaka. I was like, what the hell is Bubaka? I was like, you going to explain how this game works? Like how does this all go down? How does it all transpire? And like the other me was really asking questions, and I'm like in my mind like, please answer the question. So like so even I'm able to comprehend what's going on. And this wouldn't answer the questions. Like he didn't even know himself. It was like he was trying to persuade me to go with him, and I was just like, why do you need me to go with you for, Mike? Like I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to me. Not even the other me. The other me was just looking like, Nani? What's going on? And the funny part is, okay, so hold on a second. So you see that TV right there, right? My TV. That was like a lot smaller apparently in this other world. So I was like, whoa. Like it was like maybe like yeah, definitely like that. Much smaller. Hopefully that's like a good thing of knowing how much smaller it was. I don't know. But it was like it looked like one of those TVs, old TVs you'd see, and well, not old TVs, one of those TVs you'd see like in a kitchen or something. One of the small TVs in a smaller kitchen. That's what it looked like, and I was like, and apparently the news was on or something, or some sort of. Actually, no, it looked like Nickelodeon was on. And I'm just like, and I was on my phone apparently for some odd reason, and I'm in my mind, I'm looking like as I'm spectating, watching all this happening, I'm just like, why are you on your phone? And two, while this mate's talking, why the hell are you looking at this? Like, why's the small ass TV on to begin with? Like, why's the TV even on? Like, you're not even watching it. That's just wasting electricity. And I was like, aren't you gonna turn it off? And the other me just didn't seem to even care. But I could hear part of his thoughts was like, I'm gonna turn the TV off in a second. Like, I'm not gonna keep it on. But like, and I just was like, well, why is it on to begin with? I was like, it doesn't make any sense. But then again, when you're in the astral plane, there's going to be so many things that don't make sense to you. And it's like, I always say this in every video, that like questioning it is pointless, but I always question it anyway. Because I mean, it's just a natural thing for humans to question things, right? Well, not always a natural thing. Some humans don't really try to question things, they just flow with it and just go with it, which is a way to do things sometimes. But, yeah, so that was that experience, and my brother actually, after my brother came into my room to like, cause I ordered some, uh, Fruity Pebbles protein powder from Amazon, and he was like, "Try this, it's so good," and I was like, "Oh, it is really good," and I was like, "Huh, interesting." um, and then I told him what was happening, and he told me, "Oh, that's ironic, because a friend of ours was going to ask if we want to like to join in like a sort of gaming tournament." And I was like, depends on what games will be in the tournament, because I do play games from time to time, and I'm pretty good, yes, but mm, depends on what's being played. But next to that, guys, there was the other thing I wanted to get. I wanted to speak on, which was a dream I had. Now, I won't speak of the entire dream, of course not. But I'll speak of a part of it. Part of it basically was me in some sort of basketball court. Well, not basketball court, or kind of, yeah, basketball court. But more so in my school gymnasium. My old school gymnasium, my bad. School I graduated from. And I gotta start saying my old school. Yeah, that sounds a lot more relative. Um, but basically, what happened was I was in my old school playing volleyball apparently, and in my thoughts, because mind you, the more lucid you are, the better things become. Did I ever make a video on lucid dreaming? On what can occur when you lucid dream? I think I have. I may have to do that. Maybe I'll have to check. But what happened was in this video, I think I have made one, but I'll have to like redo it because there's a lot more that I've come to comprehend. Something I've actually, let me get to that in a second. But basically in this dream, I was with other individuals, and in my thoughts, I was saying, hopefully my mom is happy at this point in time, given I'm actually being social. Now, something for you guys to know about me is that my family likes social interactions. They like the ideal concepts of it. So if you're not social, they'll literally look at you differently. Like, why? Like, you should be social. Why aren't you social? Why aren't you socializing with anyone? Like, I'm the most. I think I'd probably be the most introverted person in my family by far. Yeah, yeah, by far. When it comes down to things, I'd rather be alone than be around other people. If you call me on the phone, I'll answer, yes. But if you text me, depending on who you may be, I may take a long time to respond, like months. Even if you're a person that I'm really infatuated towards, it maybe take me like a couple hours, maybe even a day, maybe even quarter of the week to like text you back. It depends on how I'm feeling energetically. But no, in my mind I was just like, hopefully she's happy now, given I'm like doing something social. And a message that came to the dream, so I'll speak the messages given those are the important things I wanted to get to, was more so the concept of one, whether you like to be around people or not, just be true to yourself. You never, when it comes down to our dreams, we're shown various things, messages from our subconscious, from our guides, from other astral beings if possible. So we're having to comprehend various things, and these messages come in metaphorical imagery. From our subconscious, especially speaking, these messages come in metaphorical imagery that we're to comprehend what's being said to us instead of just seeing things on surface level and just thinking, oh, that dream was just random, and so on, because there's no random dreams in my perspective. They can be, but there's always a message that's being said for you to comprehend in your waking life. The messages that I comprehended was the concept of one, to always be yourself and not to please others. And two, when it comes down to things, speak your piece. Speak your piece. And also at times is three, another thing is potentially know to release the past. Sometimes we let the past consume us. Sometimes we let the past sometimes we don't comprehend certain events that occurred in the past. Need to be forgiven. Need to be released, need to be healed, need to be understood. And other times we're so used to another fourth thing I learned, besides speaking your power and knowing, or speaking your truth and being in your power, is the concept of, even if we're used to a certain hierarchy, certain chain of command, which is usually what happens when you're in a family, a household. Sometimes if it's the regular two kids or kids and your father and mother, usually the father's chain of command, followed by the mother who's second, and the kids who go by, if it's the oldest, the youngest has command, and the youngest younger person after that, and so on, right? And I had to learn that no matter what hierarchy there may be in your family, no matter what chain of command there may be at the time, the chain of like just poof it away. Because in general speaking, in my dream, I was waiting for my brother to give a command. Rather, I looked at the same mate. I didn't wait for him to give a command now. I looked at the same mate and was like, my brother's not doing anything, so I'm not going to do anything. But then I had to comprehend, you are the one who's all the power in the world. But then, truly you do. When it comes down to things, even in your dreams, you have absolute control over so many different things. You can shapeshift, you can transform your dream into a literal living hell. You can do whatever you truly want to do. It's all possible. You can even ask your God to show themselves if they choose to. That is, and so on. You can leave your body. You can do so many things when you're dreaming. So it's when it comes down to things, even in your waking life, you can do various things. Simply put. But when it comes down to things, understand that even if there's a chain of command in your family, you are not obligated to abide by it. No one is. I had to comprehend that even if there's a chain of command that it's clearly seen, I, as well, am not obligated to abide by it. You abide by your own rules to a certain degree, your own way of going about things, if you choose to, mind you. I don't really do that to a certain degree, but I kind of do at the same time. And I have to comprehend that whether it be a dream or not a dream, if you feel something isn't right, move on it. Change things up. Simply put, don't wait for someone else to speak on things and give their dominance and their presence and begin to move things around. No. You are the main character in your story at all times. You have to be yourself, your unique being at all times. Not to listen to what anyone else is saying, not to listen to any sort of criticism, or to take it into mind, criticism, of course, but to comprehend that does not make you you. Or rather, to comprehend that when it comes down to things, no matter what anyone says about you, you know who you truly are. With that being said, Jana, hey guys.